The unknown zone.
Talk show, talk show.
Zone unknown.
Talk show, talk show.
How the hell you find it?
In your overpriced high-tech telephone.
Deep in your bones.
Underneath a pile of stones.
It's some kind of virus. Deep in your nose, in between your toes, smack dab in the middle of your split crotch pantyhose. The unknown show.
Talk show, talk show.
The unknown show.
Talk show, talk show.
The unknown zone.
Talk show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the JPCs of Brooklyn Public Access, Yvonne Dillette.
I feel more like Elvis. I just felt like putting these glasses on today. All right, I can't see shit.
If I knew that, I would have played Elvis.
I know, right? I can't see shit, though. That's the thing. Even though I'm ageless, my eyes aren't what they used to be. Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Yvonne Dillette. Welcome to the Unknown Zone Talk Show. This is the show that begs to ask the question, is Governor Cuomo as bad as we know he is? I think we know. I think that answer is is rhetorical. And I also have another question. Wait, I have to look at my notes. Oh, all right. Okay. That's where editing comes in. Sometimes. Is COVID the swine flu of 2020? Right? Am I right? Yeah, we know that. We have a lot to talk about. I'm very excited. We're really gonna. It's like Truth Teller Day, right? It's not. We're not conspiracy theorists. We're truth tellers. Right? Exactly. So I usually go conspiracy theorists. But fuck that. Anyway, I'm very excited to have my guest today. We've never formally met, but I've seen you on Facebook and Instagram, and I know you're an ex-stand-up comic. I'm surprised we haven't crossed paths before, but I love what you post and what you're about. I'm in 1,000% agreement, and welcome to the show, Gianni Alfredo Sharrock.
Yay!
Welcome, Gianni. Welcome.
The crowd goes wild, and they start throwing chairs, and then they burn the building down. So it's very exciting to be here. Yeah, whatever it takes. I did comedy back in the day when I first started in Boston. It was the crowd was Mark Maron, Janine Garofalo, David Cross, all those
Dennis
Boston
Leary?
comics are around there. Yes, Dennis Leary, who's a complete and utter asshole. Of course, you know that, right?
I would imagine.
That's not a surprise to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it's not shocking.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I did like his comedy back in the day, but him being
because when Bill Hicks's material is done in a more flashy fashion, in a commercial way,
Right.
Louis C.K. was also somebody I knew back in the day, and he told me that I said, that asshole song that Dennis Leary does, that's like, he got that from you, right? He goes, yeah, he totally stole that joke from me, but then he turned it into a song. So I was like, that's what you had to do. To turn it into a song.
There you go. That's right. I heard that story too. And I said used to.
Right.
I used to love Louis C.K. I mean, I still do.
Right.
But this is the problem I have with Louis C.K. Right? He did those things, right?
Yes. Right.
He asked women.
Apparently, he masturbated into a plant. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Wasn't that Harvey Weinstein?
I don't know what these people are doing with their plant. I don't know why ficuses look so afraid when you walk into people's offices. They're looking at you like, help me. They're giving you this thing. When a ficus goes like this, you need to I don't know if you know that reference. Do you know that reference?
No.
Oh, I'm going to explain this joke now.
Please.
This is literally a quiet, I'm being abused reference because people are on Zoom calls. Yeah. So it's this very dark joke about a ficus is what I just did there. When a ficus does this to you.
I have that was a trend, I think, going on. It was a trend with house plants.
Yeah, a lot of house plants were like, no one's talking to me here. It's hard enough to get me a glass of water.
There you go.
Anyway, no, I haven't seen Louis C.K. since 2003. Humorously, it was me, Greg Barrett, who wrote He's Just Not That Into You, and Louis C.K. So, somebody who's just not that into us, and somebody who masturbated into a ficus, maybe. I don't know. I I met Louis C.K. when he was like 18 years old, way back in like '87. And the thing that my armchair psychology take on him is that he was a good-looking person who didn't know how to talk to women because he started doing comedy when he was 18. So he just went into a crazy world. And he portrays that character in the show Louis. He's like, I don't know how to talk to women. I'm a complete idiot. So I don't think of him as being a nefariously evil person.
No.
I think that he just, because, even, and Sarah Silverman, who again, I met her, a couple times, so we're not friends or anything, but like she said, like, yeah, he asked me to do that. Like it was just a thing. Like,
that was his thing.
Was his thing. Right. So like,
but you don't ask.
So if you ask someone to do it and they go, like, I always thought, like, I think that David Chappelle nailed it on the head. Like when he goes, really? That crushed your dreams? Word.
However, I actually, but this is the point, right?
Right. Okay.
This is the point as a woman.
Yes. Right.
He knew,
which I'm not.
Power.
I'm just acknowleding that.
As far as I know.
Go on.
As far as I know.
As far as we know. And we're not showing you pictures, so you just have to trust me.
Either way, I'm cool.
Right.
This is the thing that I made him laugh. Look at this. I made him laugh. It's a winning
Thumbs
show
up.
already.
That's all. Yes, you made me laugh.
That's
Go
awesome.
on.
So this was the thing. This is the problem I have, is that he knew he had power over women, so that when he asked the question, because they were his employees, and when you ask the question,
that happens,
that they can't really say no to because they're worried about their career. He didn't ruin their lives, but he put them. He had them hostage in a way.
Right, but I think that I really think a lot of it's important to know what's going on in psychology in the mind of somebody that does weird shit.
Well, why would he do that?
Like
why would he do that to begin with? Why the fuck would he do that?
I think Harvey Weinstein is a monster.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like the level. And I hate men mostly. Okay. I am a sexist in general, wherein that I just don't like men. I like women more than men, just in general, right? So that's where I'm coming from. But in defense of Louis C.K., again, I haven't spoken to him since 2003, but in his defense, I don't think he thought that through. I don't think he thought that through. And I know that when I've
that's a problem. But that's
I know you should definitely say, and that is, and that I agree with you. That's a problem. He should have thought it through, and he was wrong for doing it. And he admitted such.
Yes, this is the only problem I have with him now, because I think he's one of the funniest men on earth. I still listen to his comedy. I'm not like, he's not Harvey Weinstein. He's not a child trafficker. I would not put him in any of those categories.
Right.
Not a pedophile. What the only problem I have is that he didn't incorporate it in his act afterwards. And he talks about fucking everything. If he would have made fun of his,
I agree with you.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But is there a fine line between having an illness or just being a little weird?
I'm sorry, I just watched Spinal Tap. So that question was a fine line between stupidity and not.
Because if it's an illness, then it
I don't believe
it takes
in that
a different level.
Well, this is the question I would have to ask.
I wouldn't believe in that at all. This
is the question I'd have to ask. What in his mind made him think that was okay?
Well, it's just that you, like, when I was in my 20s and was like at a temp job and I made out with another temp in an office, like
that's consensual. That's consensual.
Right. But when I went to go do it, I don't know that she's going to be happy about it necessarily. I'm not, when you're 24, you're not good, 24, 25 years old. This is how old he was when this happened, by the way. Okay. And he was not.
And he had power. He had some power.
Right, but he didn't. My defense of him is that he was young and stupid. Anyway, we don't have to talk about this anymore,
just
right?
One more thing, and then I want to move on because I found out something interesting this morning.
Yes.
Ask me that question if it's okay if you masturbate in front of me.
He's gonna have it on record, Mama.
Just ask me. Exactly.
It's gonna be.
I want to
It might
show
be-
my reaction.
I'm gonna do it in the British accent. Would it be fine with you if I was to do a little thing called jacking off in your presence?
No.
All right then.
Was that too much? I should.
That was a little bit loud.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
I have.
Well, she
already
already knew
have a
the
headache.
answer.
I already have a
asked very
headache.
politely,
No.
and you
You know what?
yelled at me.
I just wanted to go like this. No.
There we go. That's better.
There we go. Much better. Anyway, okay.
Yeah,
So
we'll fix that in post.
Exactly. I won't put the other one in. It looks stupid.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I
okay.
didn't get in the car with my family a lot. Let's not put this other one in. He looks stupid.
I had two very attractive parents, so I'm a little obsessed with the looks. Anyway, so this morning, right? I was, scrolling through Instagram as I'm apt to do, and I happened to catch Sarah Silverman. It's funny you mentioned her earlier, doing her podcast. A clip from her podcast, and she said she had just gotten the second V.
Oh, she has another venereal disease?
I
That's
wish.
upsetting.
I wish it was that as opposed to what it actually is.
She would own up to it anyway.
I was very upset. Isn't that upsetting?
I mean, again, there's so many of these people like that I met. I just met her back again. I met her back in like 2002 or whatever, and hung out with her for a few days just around the comedy club in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
But we got along very well. We're from the same hometown.
Uh-huh.
And I just think that I have a lot of these people, I really feel like they believe the things that they're saying and they come from a good place.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's like, so sometimes I just have to go, okay, like Dolly Parton fucking got her vaccine. And I'm just like, you're a national treasure and you're going to die soon. And it's not, I'm sad about it.
Sad. That's what
I can't really worry about it. Right. Betty White, when are they going to shoot Betty White? I've been asking that question for 10 years.
She's going to live forever. Well, I like what you posted this morning, actually, about Prince Philip. I could tell you the answer. The answer is yes, he is. Yes, he is, and I have proof.
Right. Well, I got into a little kerfuffle because of a friend of mine who lives in France now, but I met him in New Orleans, and he's a photographer. And he puts lots of photographs up into the world,
Uh-huh.
And so he put up a picture of the Queen and Prince Philip from like whatever it was 20 years ago that he had taken this picture. And so I said, I simply stated, I don't know that he's a pedophile. I think some of my friends think that. Of course, I have no evidence of that. Something very, very nice, just a little thing. And of course,
just a little blurb. A little blurb.
My friend Charlie's friends were very upset about it because they live in England and they love the Queen. And it's like, and I just kept being snarky and glib back. And it's so funny. And I just say this over and over again. If you don't want me to say anything, if you don't want me to comment again, don't reply. I'm not going to just sit there and excuse my language. I don't know if you swear. I'm not going to just sit there and put up post after post after, or comment after comment after comment.
Who cares what anyone thinks? If you don't like it, it's, too bad. Too bad.
Right.
Especially
but I just
comedy.
I don't have any proof. Like I've said this about Hillary Clinton. I have no proof she eats babies. I have no proof of that.
Right. We don't have proof. And, this is the thing is that I'll just mention a name. Kevin
Spacey.
Arnett. Spacey. No, Kevin Arnett. He's a fellow. He's an activist. He's actually child trafficking rescuer.
Oh, I love those people.
Yes. Well, he was on. There's a show. Sean Atwood has a YouTube channel, and he's been on there, and he talked about the Queen and the Prince being there and children, and he was there. So it's not good. They're all bad. I don't have proof.
Right.
But this guy is the real deal, and now they're trying to. In Canada, trying to prevent him from doing what he's trying to do,
Right. My line about when there are people that don't believe that there's an international pedophile ring. There are people that don't believe that. And I say, so you've never heard of the Catholic Church?
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand how people don't get it. Like,
well, because they don't want
to.
It's cognitive
have
dissonance.
You been? Like,
right.
I mean, you don't have to watch the movie Spotlight. It's
right,
not hilarious.
Well,
how have you missed this?
But this is the thing. And I love Phil. He got both V's because he has to for work, and he's our experiment.
I mean, I'm around the 24/7, 5 days a week. So
that doesn't mean anything, but love you anyway.
I want to be.
That's not what I believe. That's not what I believe. But you have your beliefs, and I respect that.
No. I'm just making myself a little safer. That's all.
Right, but you were safe how many months and nothing happened to you?
Yeah.
Oh, at least 7 months.
I love that.
I
love the expression that you have your beliefs, and I respect that. I like this expression. You have your beliefs, and I think they're really stupid. I like that one better. That's like
really what I mean.
Anybody that takes a Moderna shot, Moderna who has never produced a medicine. They've never produced a medicine.
But that's the problem.
Ever.
Exactly. And they're not
to this day. And the thing that they're doing now is testing a computer program on people.
Right. Exactly.
Johnson & Johnson, they can't. I don't know where I read this on Facebook, but Johnson & Johnson couldn't even make baby powder without killing people.
Exactly. How many,
and of course,
how many
Pfizer,
did they pay off in that one?
Right. And then of course, Pfizer is like, I love just tell anybody, just Google Pfizer criminal. And then get back to me.
That's great. And
but if you're gonna get a dangerous experimental shot to prevent a disease that doesn't exist, then good for you.
And it's not right. It's a shot. It's not a vaccine. It's a trial. Well, they're in the trials till 2023. Yes. 2023.
Yes.
Full trials right now.
Yeah.
Your friend Dr. Fauci got roasted by that comedian on the Mexican comedian. He got put to task.
Did you see that?
No, I just love that Fauci got roasted by a Mexican comedian.
Well, oh my God, great.
Does that come with guacamole?
Yeah, exactly. Well, what he did was Fauci, I believe Fauci, when he did the interview, thought that he was going to convince the Mexican people to take the vaccine. But what he didn't realize was the interviewer, who was an actor, comedian, did all his research and asked me real questions. Oh,
I have to watch this before it's taken down.
Ask them legit questions.
I sent it to you. You have it in your messenger thing somewhere.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. He was speechless. It was fantastic. And also Ron Paul asked him a bunch of questions recently too.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so I agree with you that I believe everyone that gets it, except Phil, actually believes that, maybe Phil too, believes that they're doing it for a good reason, which is what they want you to believe, right?
Right. Yeah, people think it's people think it's for the good, but I love that they've set up a situation where they've scared everybody into thinking that they're not going to be allowed to do anything if they don't do it.
And I have
which is cards. Like so insane.
I have these cards.
And now they're saying this morning that there's some new variant for younger children or children.
Well, they're going to keep saying it because they want to keep you in fear. It's all about keeping you in fear. It's not based on science.
Yes.
It's not true. This is what it's about. They focus on the germ theory instead of the law of the terrain.
Right.
And in the case of the germ theory, I watched this guy, Robert Scott Bell, who I highly recommend if you haven't seen him. He has a show.
I haven't heard of that guy, but my people great. Dr. Cowan and Dr. Kaufman and Kelly Brogan. Those are my three.
Cool. Those are fabulous.
But anyway, go on.
And Highwire. Do you watch Highwire a little bit with Del Bigtree?
He's just a little bit not rubber hitting the road for me.
Okay. Well, any of those people are great.
He's like entry level. He's like this is bullshit 101. I'm already on 3 or whatever.
Right, but he brings on all the doctors and scientists that speak the language that can explain things better. So Robert Scott Bell is a homeopath who had a lot of childhood illnesses, and he was over-vaccinated, whatever, and then found homeopathy, and he's in great shape now.
And I have no problem with homeopathy except for saying it.
I know, right? I had a UTI once that was cured in 20 minutes from a homeopathy. No antibiotics.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I lived in San Francisco, so there was a lot of that around.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So
I'm doing that joke. Sorry, go on.
You what?
I was doing that joke. I was doing the Homo sapien joke. It's a classic from the 70s. Go on.
Sometimes I miss things and I go over it when I'm editing and I'm sad. I'm sad that I missed a joke.
It's fine.
So he talks about the law of the terrain. The germ theory was by Pasteur. See, I learned all this stuff I never would have even wanted to learn, right? As opposed to Beauchamp. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. I've heard it pronounced out loud, so that's why I think I know it.
So they hooked the Rockefellers and all those evil people hooked onto the germ theory because you can use that to scare people. And Phil, that's what you're banking. You're involved in the germ theory, which is that you could get a germ and die instantly.
It's designed to cover up the fact that they were polluting the world. In the 1700s, in the 1800s, there were cities that you couldn't even barely see. In the mid 1700s in Pittsburgh, you couldn't barely walk down the street because it was so dark, full of smoke.
Wow.
They're burning and burning and burning and burning things, and so we're full of toxic. And so to cover that up, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I lived in the 70s and we used to talk about pollution, air pollution, water pollution. I don't hear the word pollution anymore. They stopped talking about it. So they don't want people to talk about toxins. They want people to think that they have a magical fairy dust virus. The virus is a word that's 500 years old. It doesn't have any real meaning, but they've decided to come up with this whole science. For virology is less logically sound than psychiatry, and psychiatry, as we all know, is nuts. Thank you.
They're still cleaning up the Gowanus Canal.
Well, they found a dolphin in there recently.
Anyway, Flipper is not happy. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you no, but
he does not love pho.
I appreciate that description, that information, because the law of the terrain has to do with how what you intake, right, and how well you take care of your immune system.
If your body, like Emo Phillips said, some people treat their body like a temple. I treat mine like a Presbyterian daycare center.
There you go.
But if you treat your body well and you rest and you drink water and you eat well, you will stay healthy. When I describe quickly to people about germ theory versus terrain theory, there were doctors that used to do house calls, and they would go from house to house, sick people after sick people, all day long, and not get sick. And and I've said this to so many people last year, because I've kind of been looking at the stuff for years, but a lot last year, obviously. And everybody doesn't get sick. If germ theory is true, there's a quote by somebody: if germ theory is true, we'd all be dead.
Exactly.
How, if germ theory works, are you not sick? How is somebody not sick? How is anybody not sick? It doesn't make any sense. So when I see 3 people walk down the street wearing surgical masks and all get into a car together and drive away, I'm like, okay, so you're clowns.
Yeah. I mean, it's I guess for me, it appears, my cat's scratching my pants. I'm going to kill her because he's a good pants. Okay. Sorry. I blurted something out. Honey, I love you. Get away from me.
Cat scratch fever.
I love you. Get away from me.
Yes, your cat's trying to give you an inoculation using its claws.
I'm not getting any shot. No, it's true. And I just believe, when I see the masks in the car alone, I go out of, it makes me nuts.
Yeah.
It makes me nuts. Like and I'll walk down the street, because I never ever wear a mask walking down the street ever, and I'll walk around, and I have people, I'm sure you have this experience where they walk around you. And
yeah.
I go, the virus it's over there. Don't worry. It's over there. It's not here.
Right. Well, we know how we kind of have a certain amount of rules on how the virus works. If you are standing in a restaurant waiting to sit down, the virus is going to come and climb into your ears. But if you're sitting down at that same restaurant, it doesn't come down. It doesn't. No. It's midgets. I don't know if you know this, but midgets. And now, are we allowed to say midgets? They're little people. People that are 4 foot tall. None of them have gotten COVID. I don't know if you know that. It doesn't travel down
it doesn't
there.
Go below 4 feet.
And that's why children don't get it either.
You know what? That's going to be my opening for the show. That's fucking perfect. Right. And I actually, I'm not going to do it again because I've done it twice on the show, but I do have an artist rendering. That I did.
We've seen it twice.
Right. I did it twice. Of when you enter
insert artist rendering. That's you're going to insert.
Artist rendering, very bad.
I follow you on Instagram, so I've seen a lot of your art.
Thank you. Yes, my art. So in this one, basically, the virus is everywhere, but until you sit down, it's below 4 feet. That's why the waiter has to wear the mask, because he's standing above where the virus zone is.
Right. And we want to also have him wear the mask so that we can know that he is a servant.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's really what it's, you know, what someone told me before this happened to watch The Handmaid's Tale, and I didn't watch it. And she goes, it's almost like she knew.
Right.
And she goes, you should watch it because that could happen. And I'm like, get out of here. And she was like,
I won't watch that show because I won't even wear a handmade sweater.
There you go. Where's my drums? Wait.
Thank you. Yes.
Wait, drum.
Jesus. You got a guitar player and no drummer. There we go. Yes. I went to see a drummer and he had a guitar machine. That's a musician joke.
Really?
You know that one, right?
No. What do you call what is it? What do you call a drummer? A musician? A drummer? No, so I hate that.
You're gonna try. Let me do a drummer joke and then you can do yours. Let me set you up. What's the sound of a drummer knocking on your door? Dominoes.
That's close. Right. What do you call a drummer without a girlfriend? Homeless.
Oh, right. I like that one. That's a good one.
Here's my other favorite one.
Who's the guy in the band that drives the van? The drummer. Why is he in the band? Because he has a van. Don't that beat all?
Exactly. You know, we only have 2 minutes. I'm a little sad.
I'm very sad.
I'm always sad.
You're sad. You know, I'll tell you one. Who's funny? What's the difference? Oh my God, I suck. What's the difference between
you call yourself a comedian? Jesus
40
Christ.
40 years.
You can't even tell a drummer joke without the timing being off.
I didn't stand up. I did improv.
40 years.
I did my first open mic 40 years ago.
40 years ago. Wow, isn't that crazy? It feels like yesterday. I did
yesterday?
I did one-woman shows before they had buildings. It was crazy. It was back in the Stone Age.
Yes, the crowd loved her. They hit her with a bat and dragged her by her hair.
Exactly. And then I got married. Whatever.
Right.
So yeah. So what's it? Oh shit! Running out of time. No. We're gonna go in 1 second. So what's the difference between a mime and a clown?
I don't know. What?
Clowns are funny. That's a joke from a clown. It wasn't even good. It was such a letdown. We were having so much fun.
Shakes the Clown is a great movie if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
I say that to everybody.
Gianni, we have 1 minute. What do you want to say?
So I'm on the Facebooks, Gianni Alfredo Sciarappa. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sciarappa, SHARAPPA. And I am so not famous. I have not gone viral, but when I do, I'm going to be shot.
Amen. Me too.
Yeah.
I feel like my time's coming. So before we go, the last thing I want to say, what are you doing these days? Because you did stand up, and I didn't. What do you do?
I don't. I very little. I do very little,
right.
And I have no money, and I'm just going to die. That's my plan. But maybe I'll turn it around.
Join the club.
Gianni, I thought you were going to say you're becoming a drummer.
Well, yeah, that's the ironic thing about drummer jokes. I lived in New Orleans, and drumming is hard, and really good ones, I could never do it. So that's the thing that's hilarious. I have a better chance of being a surgeon than being a really good drummer. Amen. But Chet Baker said, if you have to be a really good drummer to be better than no drummer at all.
And with those words,
excellent.
We have to go.
Well, this was fun.
This was fun. I would love you to come back.
It was a blast.
Really fun. Really good time. We have so much more to talk about. I will talk to you, and I'll send you the clips when I'm done editing, and we'll continue this somehow, some way.
Yes, it was very nice. This was kind of our meeting.
Yes.
After all these
years. Do it again soon.
Okay.
Right.
Take care, Gianni.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
The Unknown Zone.
Talk show.